Hi, good morning. I'm Tara Braat, interior designer.
And we have our guest, Shirley Zaccheo, here with You and Improved. Shirley, say hello.
Hey everybody, how are you?
Okay,
Hi, it's so
so
nice to have you.
yeah, we've been so excited to have guests come on the show, and it's been a long time coming. So we're super excited to learn something new and to get creative with someone new.
Yay, I'm so excited to be here. You know, I can talk all day, and this is one of my favorite topics.
Yes. So one of the first things that we do, Shirley, is we show off our coffee mugs.
I'm
As
ready.
our guest, would you like to kick us off?
Ooh, I get to go first. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so special. It's Monday. I'm up early. Okay. So my coffee cup, my daughter has a funny sense of humor. Let me find my camera. So it says breakfast is poured, and
Fun.
it has flowers and a lovely young lady on it. So she's the person that doesn't just get you a gift that's on your list. She actually buys you the gift that resonates with you. So she finds you cups, so, or things that mean something to you. So she's good. So that's one of my favorites. It's beat up, it's worn, it barely should go in a microwave, but it's one of my faves.
Very cool, very cool. I'll go next. So this one is a new one for you guys to see, and it says, "I came, I saw, I forgot what I was doing. I went back, got distracted. I have no idea what's going on. Is this my cup? I have to pee."
Yes,
So that is me in a nutshell. I
I
swear
resonate.
that like Stella, my dog Stella, knows that if I leave the room for a second, I'm probably coming back because I forgot what I was going out for. Um, so yeah, definitely me. Tara, how about you?
I have my polka dot cup here.
Very
Yeah,
nice, very
super
nice.
cool. Classic green colors there. I love it.
Yeah. So, you guys, today we get to dive into some fashion stuff with Shirley. I shouldn't say stuff. Fashion is all around us. I mean, our personal brand. I mean, everything is all in our world. Like how we present ourselves is everything. And Shirley's going to dive into that with us, and we're going to figure out what our style personality is, which is pretty cool. And then we'll give you guys some updates and our tip of the week, and then we'll go from there. And you'll be on your way to have a fantastic week. So, Shirley, we're not going to hold back any further. Let's dive in and yeah, show us what our style personality is.
Well, it kind of can tie into Tara because Tara and I have worked together too. So it really, when we were talking about how I could tie it together with what Tara does, it's like when she comes into a home, you know, we talk about your brand, you walk out, even if you work for a company, you're associated with that brand. You know, if you're a solo entrepreneur, people see you out. As much as sometimes we want to be in our baseball caps and our ponytails, we're still the brand, and you have to, be that person 24/7, right? And you almost can't really have a down day sometimes. And but when she came into my home, or we were going to do the office, she was kind of shocked when I said, you thought it was going to be like this colorful explosion of colors, because I do color analysis and I teach people how to get dressed, and I'm very colorful and bold when I wear colors. But I said, no, it almost has to be very plain, very white, because I don't want the colors to jump off the walls onto people's skin. And she was like, I wasn't expecting that, and but she also did the interview of like, what's your aesthetic? What do you like to, and we figured out that I like the Spanish tiling, and you can see some of it behind me, and the Moroccan flares, and, tying into just the things that I love, the Italian tile work and the colors. We could have colors in other places, maybe down on the floor or other places, but we really could, in the office, we had to keep it almost neutral and different pops of colors. Like the artwork behind me is soft and pastel, but it's still very fashiony. So how do you tie the personality of the person? Does it relate to the interior? Do you find that, Tara, when you're working with somebody? Like, if there's, in the fashion world, there's generally 6 style personalities. There's the dramatic person, there's the romantic person, there's the classic person, and I'll go over what those are. The dramatic loves to stand out in a crowd when they go out. We know that person, like they walk in going, I own the room. They really don't care what anybody else thinks, but they love to just make an entrance for themselves, pretty much. The romantic, they love the details, the frill, the pretty colors. They like the embellishment. They like the accessories. The classic person loves the clothes, the timeless, the elegant. They're going to it's always going to be good quality. They don't really add too many pieces into their wardrobe because they're going to pay more money for a classic piece that's going to last in their wardrobe for a long time. The natural, their clothes must be comfortable. They don't like to fuss or have a lot of embellishments. They'll generally look for the cottons and the natural fibers in their clothes. They like it to be simple and uncluttered. And then the creative person, Vivian Westwood, my spirit person, Iris Eiffel, Apfel. They don't follow any trends. They walk to their own beat for sure. Obviously, we know Tara she's truly a creative. Every time she wears something, I go, oh my God, where did you find that? You are not afraid to wear clashing, not clashing, but coordinating pattern, put an outfit together out of anything. You enjoy shopping.
Can I just add to that?
Yeah.
Like when I go out with Tara, everyone's always complimenting her on something that she's wearing.
Yeah,
always.
Absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt. And then you enjoy shopping at vintage stores. Exactly. Her and I could be out all day long, anywhere, all day long. It's exactly. And then there's the city chic. They are stylish but comfortable. They like good quality that lasts for years as well. So city chic and classic can kind of overlap, and sometimes these style personalities can overlap where you'll have a dominant, but you'll also have a secondary where it's like, I like that too, and that's okay. Sometimes I like to be romantic, but sometimes I like to be very creative, so sometimes those can have a little bit of a personality overlap. So in my aesthetic at home, where does that fall? I definitely like to, there's a page that I follow on Instagram. It's, because I don't have it in front of me, but it's, the eclectic. I think both you and I follow it, Tara. The eclectic something or another, but it's like the crayon box threw up, but in the best way possible. And that's, if I had been left to my demise to decorate this office, it's probably would have happened. Like Anne Frank just threw up in here is would have happened, our Anne Frank days. And I would have loved it. Glitter everywhere. I would have had a blast, but it would not have been fair to my clients because it just would not have really, gone over. So those are some of the ways that's what style personality is how you have your colors done now, right? So now you know what your colors are. So now let's get you into a lane of how you can define what your style is.
Question about that.
Yeah.
So you keep saying get your colors done, but for those that don't know, can you tell us what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So color analysis, really, I can say the foundation of it has been around for a long, long time. The association of color analysis, when you do the research, it's always been there. What colors evoke the emotions that they have evoked on us. But then it was put into a science of the color psychology, especially when advertising became into play. And this really well, Rebecca, when you're designing campaigns, which colors are going to make somebody click on that ad or get them to buy. My cousin got a degree in psychology and ended up working for an ad firm, and I could not figure it out because I'm younger than her. I was like, how did that work out? And then as I got older, I go, oh, that's why, because I ended up sort of in the same path. And then when it came to fashion, it was, colors that make us look better, colors that make our skin look healthier, our hair look healthier, and our eyes look healthier. So I take all those components and I create a color. This is an older one, and I create these color wheels that are going to, this one's an old one of mine, but this is a what we call a winter palette. I use the 4 seasonal palettes system, and I get you in all of your best colors, and I teach you which ones are going to make you look your best all the time. So there's no question. You're not going to go to a store and buy 14 pieces of clothing that aren't going to look your best ever again. So it saves you money, it saves you time. And then those items that you bring back are going to work with everything else in your closet. So it really is a good thing. And then as an entrepreneur, you can also tie it into your brand. What are the colors of your brand? What are the colors of your brand message? Are they really harmonizing with who you are? Sometimes those two messages can clash. And so it is worth the conversation of saying, well, who are you? What is your business? And what is that message? So sometimes we can dive a little bit deeper.
Interesting. So, I was curious if you have noticed if people's favorite colors, like if you say, what's your favorite color, if that is similar to what their color palette is. Like, are their favorite colors, do they just happen to line up with what they should be wearing?
Sometimes. My favorite color is purple, and purple has that royalty mystique to it. There are some personality characteristics that can line up very much so. Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast.
So I have a question for you, Shirley. Would your clients come to you, or would you be welcomed to go into their home to help them with their closets? How does that work?
All of the above. And I can do all of this virtually. I can do color analysis virtually. As a matter of fact, I had started to do it a little bit before the pandemic when we were shut down. And then I really did pivot during the pandemic to be able to go into people's, to do it virtually. I can do closet evaluations. You just need to prop up your phone near a closet. We can do it all through the internet. I tell people all the time, I'll drive anywhere in New England and come to you. And so I can go to them. I can do office, any office that does those office appreciation events, speaking engagements. It's my bag, everything on that wall that I see across me, it all travels with me.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good to know. Good to know. The other question I have for you is, do you ever find anybody that is coming into you and they just challenge you with not being in their comfort zone, so you take them out of their comfort zone? How does that work? That's pretty tricky on my end as well. So
yeah, because you're trying to understand them. I think for both of us, sometimes maybe your client, they have that vision in their head, right, of what they think they want, and then you're trying to lean them into, well, this will work aesthetically. And then sometimes there comes that break point where you're like, okay, whatever. And you just kind of like give them what they want to a degree, or you say, trust me, right? You have to, for you and I, there has to be that level of trust, especially for me. I'm going into somebody's closet. That really is
very personal.
It's a very personal, it's a psychological, it's a counseling session. It really is. Why do you have this so long? What is the reason you're holding on to this? I did a closet evaluation with a dear friend of ours, and she was a very warm palette, and she had a lot of royal blue, which is it's a common color, and it's one of the colors that a lot of people can wear, but when it gets too bright, it kind of conflicts, right? So she's very warm, it's very cool. And I said, why is this color so prevalent in your closet? She's like, it was my father's favorite color. He'd passed. So she gravitated towards pulling that color in her closet because it was a memory of him. I said, okay, pick a couple of your favorite pieces. Let's keep that. Or let's bring it into the home in a vase, in something that reminds you of him in a different way. Maybe get a picture frame and put a picture of him in it. So that color is in your home of him, but it's not necessarily going to be one of your best colors on you of him. You know what I mean? So, why that dress? I went on a date with my husband the first time. Okay, but it's how long ago? Is it still fitting you? Is it still, in fashion? Whatever that is. So it really is a very personal experience to go into somebody's home. So yes, sometimes there'd be a conflict. a lot of times it's, trust me, don't look at the color as a color that you like, right? You have to look at the color as what it's doing to your skin. I joke with my clients, I love Southwest colors, colors of autumn. They don't love me. I look like I have jaundice when I'm wearing mustard yellow. Rebecca looks amazing in all of those
And I don't
Southwest
like it.
colors.
Yeah,
Right?
like that was a hard thing for me to, because it would get to the point where I wouldn't even try it on. I'm like, that color is disgusting. And
Yeah.
then and then I go try something on and I'm like, damn, I look good.
Yeah, you look exactly. So it's where you and I are polar opposites when it comes to that. But my house used to be very Southwest, believe it or not. I lived in California. I love the Mexican Southwest. Arizona and New Mexico are on the top 5 of places for me to go live. I just love that aesthetic. But I say I decorate it and I don't wear it. You know, again, pulling in those colors that we love in a different way. So I try to coach my clients as to, don't look at the color in the way you think you like them. Let's look at the way the colors are reacting to your skin. And once we do that, I sometimes have to say, okay, let's close your eyes. Let's see it a different way. And once we get that connection, that light switch to go off, then they go, oh, now I get it. And I'll work with my clients until they see it. So yeah. And then if they truly are going to fight me, I go, baby girl, you can keep it. You can keep it. Wear it like you own it. I'm just here to help you learn new ways to do it better. So, because
I agree. I know how it goes.
Yeah. They're never, ever, 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 if they're that tight to it, they're not going to let it go. So at that point you go, hey, go for it.
That was like all the black in my closet. When Shirley did my colors, she was like, all right, maybe brown needs to be your new black. I'm like, but there's a lot of the old black in there, you know? And I do love wearing black.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, so like growing up, like my father's a biker, you know, so black was everywhere. And my mother too. So it was just one of those things. And then getting into my late teens, I hear people like, why are you always in black? Are you going to a funeral every day? You know, it was like one of those things I wasn't paying attention. Yeah.
Right. Quick question on this, on black. So if Rebecca had a black suit on,
Yeah.
could you put a scarf so that it meets this area of where her neck meets her face, so she could still incorporate the black suit, but just it's not up against her?
Right.
Is that?
Yeah, absolutely. A scarf. We taught her change out some jewelry. A chunky necklace would break it up, because it would also help to give a little bit of reflection. You know, she wore silver, but again, we kind of shifted, saying, okay, let's try to start mixing your metals, because again, she's very warm. So silver, the cool. So I said, let's try to mix in maybe some hammered metals, some copper, some gold. So just to mix that up, she can still rock the black. I just saw a post on when I was doing some research for this podcast. Shades of black. So there's definitely different shades of black that she could play with and warm up the black too. So there's definitely different shades of black. You know, just as there's, you know, jokingly 50 shades of gray, and there's 50 shades of everything. So it's just different ways. Same with you. There's all the tones that you're working with in terms of paint. You drop one tone of gray or one tone of white, and you've completely changed something in that color palette. So absolutely.
Because it's all about the hues and how do you incorporate them, right? So I can see that it kind of goes hand in hand with what you're doing as well. So.
Exactly. You and I can always work together, because it's like boom, boom, boom. Let's, you know, yes, you can walk into a room and have that, you know, you're doing staging. So you want, for staging, they always say that blank color palette, right? So that so the client can see their home, their self in that home. But, and then when the new client comes in, now the trend is to keep it, like you were talking last week about keeping it, once you paint a wall blue, it's going to be blue for a long time, right?
Right, and you're stuck with blue, right?
And you're stuck with blue, and you really can't over decorate in a blue room if you're that person that likes to change it for the holidays, right? So keeping it generally neutral so that you can, but the neutrals now are changing so much. So it's like, which neutral do you go with, and how do you do that? So I just like to have fun. So that's why I have a ridiculous, I have a ridiculous amount of clothes, but I love my accessories. So have fun with your
I do
accessories.
too. I do too. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
My blazer
Even
collection is on point.
right. Even decor, accessories in your home is the same way. Just like your palette of your office was neutral with pastel colors, but that gave us, the foundation of your office space, and then you can add the colors. So
Right.
it's
Right.
what you're using and moving around, right?
Yeah.
So you don't get tired of that, because
Right.
otherwise you're stuck to that one particular color, and that's going to
Right.
be it, like we were talking about. So.
Right. The beauty of it is that paint has come so far that one can of paint with a good primer based into it, you can change it. It's not like back in the day when I was, oh my God, you should have seen the color palette in my room back in the late 80s. It was horrendous. One wall was, oh, I'm telling you, one wall was big flowered daisies, hot pinks and yellows. And oh, it gave you a headache going in. It was a shag pink and white carpet.
Wow.
And one wall was, I'm not lying. And I'm like, Dad, seriously. And he's like, you shred that wallpaper and you can paint it. So I learned real quick in my teens how to take down wallpaper and paint a room. It didn't get much better after that because Dad was a thrifter. And so I got some nasty brown rug that he got from a remnant store. But anyway, it wasn't this crazy paper. But yes, I've been doing rooms for a long time. But so it just has evolved. So some of the paint trends, so a creative, I was looking online. So for a creative, there's a color called a neon flare. It's like a orange and it's mixing it with the bright blues. And when I was selling home interiors as a direct seller, back in the day, you always had to say there was a room or a wall that had to be you, right? Even if you wanted that one neutral room or your house needed to be calm, or you had to have that one room that really sings to you so that you could just go in there and just be you, right? So the creative needs that outlet. Or the man in the house needs his hunting room or his sports room or his cigar room or whatever. You all have to have that one room. For your kids, they have to have that signature room that just means they have to have their space, right? So the dramatic right now, it's called every paint company has their own color of the year. Pantone has theirs and everybody's not too happy about it. But Encore Blue, it's a deep smoky blue. It's a beautiful blue by Valspar. And for the romantics, there's the beautiful pastel. It's a dusty pink or a soft lavender. So that would sing to the romantics because it's just that soft, and it really plays well with grays and the neutral creams and those kind of colors. And again, you're just kind of singing to the personality of the person, the color trends. Do you want, like, you sleep, right? You want that room. That's probably a big room that you decorate in. What do you want that room to be? Do you want it to be a bright color when you wake up? Are you that energetic person that your feet hit the floor? Or do you need to lazily wake up? And is it a soft pastel in the morning? Or do you want it dark so that you can go to sleep? There's all kinds of those psychological color questions that I'm sure Tara works with when she's talking to her clients. So there's all kinds of psychological color questions that sings to that person, not only in their fashion, but in their interiors. So it really runs the gamut.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, you definitely have to have that conversation with them.
Yeah.
Before you even start working with your clients, because you need to get to know them. You need to know their style. And then sometimes they don't know what avenue to go down.
Yeah.
So that's also tricky too, right? Because you have so many avenues you can take, and then there comes a point when they finally trust you, and then you're kind of working together. So it's interesting. Yeah.
It is interesting. Do you find that when you're shopping, even after the project is done, that you still have that client in your head, and it's like, I literally can go, Sarah would love that. She'd look amazing in that. And Rebecca would look, oh, there's that green. I know that, it's like you want to just keep shopping for your client and be bringing stuff, and I'll be sending pictures, and I'm like, this is at TJ Maxx for you, baby girl. This is or suit jackets for men, because I do work with men. It's not just for women, because it's equally important for men to understand that their brand is, men's fashions have come a long way from just the standard blue and black suit and a basic tie. So they're equally
Right.
They're equally as branded, and fashions for men I love working with men. It's so much fun. My Burlington days with the suits and the ties and putting it all together. Oh, I love men's fashions.
How do you feel about men's fashion with, stripes, polka dots, and combining different textures and patterns? I know that's pretty in right now, where, before you're like, oh, because it wasn't really in style, but now it's just like a crazy world. You do whatever. So how do you handle that? How do you handle a client that wants to do that? Probably, I would say maybe like a suit, tie, very busy shirt. How do you handle that?
As long as, and this in textures, as long as any combination, and I wish I had it, as long as the patterns, the colors have to be in harmony, right? They have to all the colors have to be the same. Okay. I'm not talking Emily and Paris clashing. Okay. If you want to do that, again, walk out the house like you own it. Just do you. The colors, when you're mixing patterns, stripes to polka dots, stripes, whatever that is, the colors have to be in harmony. One pattern has to be just slightly larger than the other, right? Slightly dominant. And then they'll harmonize, right?
Interesting.
So who is a pro at this? And I'm going to, he's on the Morning Today talk show. And he's also Michael Strahan, his stylist, on point every single time. He was wearing a beautiful suit recently. It was a wide plaid. I think he had a light striped shirt and a beautiful tie. But again, all those colors just met perfectly. And I'm always watching the sportscasters when they layer their suits.
Right.
I'd love to get a hold of some of their stylists. And I love sports and I love football, but usually it's like, okay, once I've analyzed all their suits, then I listen to what they're saying. But yes,
that's like me. That's like me with a movie. I'm always watching the set behind them. What? I don't even know what's going on in the movie. I'm watching what's behind it.
We have a question that came in for you, Shirley.
Yeah.
So it's from Joylyn, my friend Joy, who watches all the time.
Yeah.
And is responsible for some of our coffee cups. And she was saying that she's realizing that she has a fashion issue. And she's wondering what step can she take to stop dressing the same way she's done for years. Now, I know Joy, and Joy has forever just worn bigger, clothes that are bigger for her, too big on her. Mm-hmm. And she really has a cute little body.
Yep.
And she doesn't need to be in frumpy clothes.
Right.
So, but she's struggling. We went shopping when I went back to visit, but she's struggling to make that first step to change how she's dressing. Do you have any pearly words of wisdom for her?
Especially as women, we get into that habit where we think that when we've had a little bit of weight on us, we think that putting something a little bit bigger will hide it. And I've been a plus size girl. We've all done it, up, down, right? And so we put something on a little bit bigger that is going to think that it's going to hide it. And then we get in that trap of continuing that habit. However, what that is doing is it's adding more fabric to your frame than is needed. And it is a comfort zone, and it takes time to break it. But when you find the actual style that's going to fit your frame properly, you're going to see that it's going to accentuate the best parts of you. So it is a matter of finding the style that is going to work with your body shape. I do have a tool. It's a body booklet. It's a Signia body booklet where we do a series of measurements on your style and finding what is going to work for your shape that's going to look best for you. So there is a tool. It really is other. You hear, are you pear? Are you triangle? Are you hourglass? There's all kinds of terminologies out in the fashion world for that. But when you learn what is going to work for your shape, that's when you're going to learn how to buy the items that is going to accentuate the positive. That's what we're looking for. Where does your shirt need to land, not to highlight the parts that we don't want to show off? And where do your shirts need to land where it's like, for me, I don't like this wide part of my arm. And I have short arms. So I don't like to wear short polo shirts. I like to wear 3/4 sleeves because if I go back up, my wrists are the skinniest parts of my arms. So I don't usually wear anything that goes anywhere past this. See how my arm just started to get wider? So my arm will start to look skinnier when I do that instantly. Same with any other part of our body. If you feel that you have larger calves, then you're either going to want a longer skirt, depending on your height. So there's all kinds of tricks and tips and rules of finding where the best parts of your body are, bringing the colors up in the right parts, bringing the colors down. But once you do that, people say, oh, I'll get my colors done when I lose 10 pounds. When I teach you your colors, your patterns, and how to dress for your body shape, you'll look like you lost 20.
Nice.
And then it's a confidence builder.
Right. So I hope that helps, Joy. Thank you for the question. Do you have any last tips before we get into how we're going to take over the world this week?
We're going to take over the world. Oh, well, that was me. I didn't know if that was for anybody. No, I just, it's the new year, right? So I'm not going to say new year, new me. Don't even do that. Everybody's already fabulous. Like Tara was saying, go through what you have. There's stuff in your closet that you really don't need anymore. Thank it, release it. Ask it a couple questions. Does it still fit you? Right? Start in small batches. Do not do that crazy take everything out of your closet, because you will not have a place to sleep at the end of the night, because you're going to get totally out of your head dismantled, right? And you're never going to finish that project. If you have a shelf system, start with one shelf at a time. One shelf at a time. Does it fit you? Start with shirts, right? Because it's the closest thing to your face. So we want the color, we want that joy. Does it fit you? Is it in season? We're in winter still in New England. Doesn't matter where you're watching this. Is it in season? Does it have any stains on it? Does it have any holes on it? Are you really going to sew it? No, you're not. Let it go. Can you consign it because your closet has money in it? Does it still have a tag on it? Is it still new? I bet you it's still new. Okay. Leave the
Don't come to my closet.
Is there a tag on it? Leave the tag on it because it's still new with tags on it. It has more value with it's still new, because there's some people who won't go to a thrift or consignment store and not buy it without new. So it does get a couple more dollars with it. And start getting your spring stuff ready too, because those spring items that aren't in good shape or whatever, start getting it's just like retail. The consignment stores and retail stores are one season ahead. So get rid of your winter and start looking at your spring items so that they're ready to go. Find out from your local consignment store what they're ready to go, right? Because I take you from your colors to your closet to consignment, because your closet has value. There's also a lot of thrift stores in town that do charity. Like if you don't want the money for it, find one that gives back. Here in Connecticut, there's the Ark up in northern Connecticut. Down in Saybrook, there's the Estuary. And those the employees in there, they're not paid employees, they're volunteers. And they give back to the community programs. So there's a lot of programs out there that you can just donate your items to. So there's a lot of places that your items can do good for. So does it fit you? Is it stained? You're never going to sew it. Get rid of it. find a bin in town. There's tons of them. Maybe find a legitimate one. They'll take it for bulk, get it out of your house. Shoes, if you bend them and you hear that crinkle, the glue is gone. Get rid of them. Start with one shelf at a time. Release it, earn some money, start fresh. And
Nice.
if you're not sure, that's where you call us.
Okay.
And that's what we do.
Nice. And
That's your
Joyce
year's
says thank
plan.
you.
That's how you take over your closet world.
Very cool. Joyce says thank you, and she said she'll be reaching out, but how can other people get in touch with you?
I am, Facebook kind of rules my world. So You and Improved is on Facebook. It's Let's Get You and Improved. Spell it all out, put it all together. My website is u-n-improved.com. And you can message this event. You can put a comment in the event. Let us know if you watch the replay. Share it with your friends if somebody wants to know more about how their personality for their clothes, their brand, or their interior. Tara and I work really well together because it's a good thing. And your home is just as much a reflection of who you are as anything else. When you come home at the end of the day, you have to have an amazing spot to decompress and to be you. And then when you leave your home, you have to be you. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you for letting me be here. I love hanging out with you guys.
Yeah. Tara, you have anything quick that you want to share that you're working on this week?
Well, I'm starting in Middletown this week.
Ooh.
I'm super excited. I have found so many things for my client. It's a sunroom, and walls are yellow. So I have to go with the blue hues. So we're incorporating the blues, the creams, the whites, and again the yellow. So I'm very excited to share with my client everything I have purchased so far for this space. So that's my exciting news this week. Other than that, I'm just in Norwich working on my projects, getting them closed. So it's going to be a great week.
Yes, it is. Awesome. I am putting together some new, I'm going to have some new stuff coming out soon. So I've been working hard on getting everything ready for that. So I'll be able to reveal that soon. And I just have to really quickly mention, I was listening to this podcast this morning, and it was talking about your follow-up as business owners. And they were talking, and of course they started putting stats out there. So instantly I'm like, yep, stats, here we go. I'm listening now. And it was like 63% of business happens in the follow-up. And the biggest thing that they said was that we get impatient and we don't continue follow-up when we think people aren't interested. But like when we think about it, sometimes we're just not ready to buy. And then when we're ready, we want that person there right away, right? Yeah. We want to know that we can just take that action as soon as we are ready. So be that person that follows up, that's always there. You don't have to send like crazy things to them. Just a note saying, I thought about you. I saw this article and thought about you. Here you go. Little things like that will go such a long way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was very interesting to me. Yeah.
There's a lot of non-following up in all kinds of industries now. The employment industry, there's ghosting. There's a lot of stuff that's follow up. It's an interesting topic right now.
It's becoming a lost art.
It's very much with so much electronic era going on that things are lost in the cloud. Yeah. I miss the days of going in and saying, "Is the manager here?" and having a conversation. It's gone. It's sad. It really is sad. But just really quick, I forgot to mention that those style personalities, it's actually a class that I'm going to be rolling out where people are going to be able to sign up and do the questionnaire and find out what their actual style personality is. So that'll be, once I have it all tidied up, that's going to be one of the classes that I'm going to be offering. So I'm super, super excited that I finally got that all pulled together. So yay, keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, please share that in the Coffee with Creatives group when you have that ready.
It will be out there everywhere.
All right. Well, Shirley, thank you so much for being here and talking style with us and helping our listeners and viewers to level up their style game.
Anytime, anytime. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. And again, if you want to be a guest and you want to come on and see, you don't have to come here. Shirley's in the comfort of her own home right now. You can come on and teach us something. We always want to learn. We always want to be creative. And yeah, Tara, any last words of wisdom from you?
Sure. Even if you do not feel comfortable being on, or you would like us to come visit you and help you with, a video, maybe record, not so much live, we can also share that too, because not everybody is comfortable being on screen. And I completely understand that. So we are here to help you any way we can, and always remember to be kind.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Reminder.
It is a journey, and we've all been there. Trust me. If you go back and look at some of my old live videos, you will laugh. I need a bloopers roll. If somebody knows how to make that, let me know. We've all been there. There's some great consignment shops in Middletown, by the way. One of my favorites is this Abby Swap Consignment. Tara, let me know if you want to buy in Middletown. Let me know. I'll meet you.
All right, that sounds fabulous.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you for everyone that is watching, and we will see you next week. Have a great day.
Yes.
Get a colorful
Thank you.
one. See ya.
Bye for now. Mm-hmm.